Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, entrepreneurs, dreamers, and doers, welcome to this moment of reflection and motivation. If you are here today listening to my voice, it means you are alive, breathing, and full of potential. And let me tell you, that's already a huge achievement. Life is not easy, but it is a gift. And what you do with that gift defines your future. Today, I want to talk about something that is simple yet profound. There is no excuse for not trying. This phrase might seem like common sense, a piece of advice you've heard 100 times before. Yet in practice, it's one of the hardest principles to truly live by. Why? Because trying requires effort, courage, and resilience. It demands that we step out of our comfort zones and face the unknown. But let me assure you, the rewards are immeasurable. Together, let's unpack this idea, dissect its nuances, and explore how adopting this mindset can transform your life. I promise to keep it educational, deeply inspiring, and if I can pull a need to be connected. But you know what? I didn't let my lack of knowledge stop me. I tried, I failed, then I tried again. The lesson: you don't need to be perfect. You just need to begin. Don't wait for the stars to align. Start walking and you'll find your way. People often ask me, Jack, how do I achieve big dreams? And I say, stop dreaming about big dreams. Focus on small steps. Big dreams can be overwhelming. They make you feel small and insignificant. But small steps, they're manageable. When I started Alibaba, my dream was simple. I wanted to help small businesses in China go global. That's it. No grand vision of becoming a multinational giant, just one small step at a time. Take the story of the Chinese farmer and the potato. A farmer was trying to lift a big bag of potatoes onto his cart, but couldn't manage. He was struggling and sweating. Then an old man came by and said, "Why don't you carry the potatoes one by one?" The farmer thought it was a silly idea, but he tried it. 10 minutes later, all the potatoes were on the cart. Sometimes we just need to focus on one potato at a time. So stop looking at your problems as one giant obstacle. Break them into pieces and tackle them one at a time. Let's talk about excuses. We all make them. I'm too young. I'm too old. I don't have the money. I don't have the time. Listen, I understand. Life can be challenging. But excuses are just well-dressed lies we tell ourselves to avoid stepping out of our comfort zones. When I first started Alibaba, I pitched my idea to 24 people in my apartment. Out of those, 23 said, "Jack, this will never work." One of them even told me, "You have no experience, no funding, and no technology. How can you succeed?" You know what I said? "You're right, but I'm still going to try." Excuses are like quicksand. The more you stand in them, the harder it becomes to move. You must train your mind to see opportunities, not obstacles. Turn your "I can't" into "how can I?" Now let's address the elephant in the room, fear of failure. Nobody likes to fail. It's embarrassing, painful, and let's face it, it's not Instagram friendly. But failure is not the opposite of success. It's part of success. In my early days, I applied for 30 different jobs. I got rejected 30 times. Even KFC said no to me. Can you imagine that? They hired 23 out of 24 applicants, and I was the only one who didn't make it. For a moment, I thought, maybe I'm just not good enough. But then I realized, rejection is not a reflection of your worth. It's just a test of your perseverance. Failure is like a wound. It hurts, sometimes deeply, and it often leaves a scar. But think of scars as proof that you've endured, that you've fought battles and survived. The beauty of failure is in its ability to teach us lessons we'd never learn otherwise. It's a process of growth, much like a muscle that tears during exercise only to rebuild stronger. So don't be afraid to fail. Embrace it as a necessary step on your journey. What you should truly fear is not trying at all. For the greatest risk in life is not taking one. By avoiding risk, you deny yourself the chance to grow, evolve, and achieve. Every failure you face is a stepping stone toward your greatest success. One of the biggest excuses people make is, "I don't know how to do it." Well, guess what? Nobody knows everything, and nobody starts as an expert. The world is a classroom, and life is the teacher. Your job is to show up, pay attention, and be willing to learn, no matter how intimidating it might seem. Take me, for example. I didn't know how to run an internet company. I was a school teacher, for goodness sake, but I didn't let that stop me. I became a student again, even as an adult. I read books, anything I could get my hands on about business and technology. Take me, for example. I didn't know how to run an internet company. I was a school teacher, for goodness sake, but I didn't let that stop me. I became a student again, even as an adult. I read books, anything I could get my hands on about business and technology. I attended seminars where I knew I'd feel out of place, but went anyway. Most importantly, I surrounded myself with people who were smarter than me, people who could teach me and challenge my thinking. Knowledge is like food. The more you consume, the healthier you become. But here's the catch, just reading and learning isn't enough. You have to act on it, to practice, to make mistakes, and to refine your approach over time. Let me share a funny story that illustrates this point. In the early days of Alibaba, I attended a big conference where everyone was talking about this buzzword, big data. At the time, I didn't even know what big data was. So I did what any curious learner would do. I wrote it down on a piece of paper, went back home, and Googled it. That's right, the founder of Alibaba learned about big data from Google. The lesson here? Don't pretend to know everything. Be humble. Admit what you don't know, ask questions, and never stop learning. Each time you choose curiosity over fear, you grow a little stronger and a little smarter. You might be wondering, Jack, can I achieve success alone? My answer is simple. No. No matter how talented or driven you are, you need a team. A good team is like the wind beneath your wings. They lift you when you're tired and push you forward when you're stuck. When I started Alibaba, I didn't look for the smartest people. I looked for the right people who shared my vision and were willing to fight for it. Together, we built something that was bigger than ourselves. So, surround yourself with people who inspire you, challenge you, and believe in you. Remember, if you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, go together. Life is too short to be serious all the time. When things get tough, laugh at yourself. Trust me, it works wonders. Once during a meeting, one of my team members told me, Jack, you look like a cartoon character. Instead of getting offended, I laughed and said, well, at least cartoons make people happy. Humor is not just a coping mechanism. It's a strategy. It helps you stay positive, build relationships, and see challenges in a different light. So, the next time life gives you lemons, don't just make lemonade, add a little sugar, and share it with your friends. Another important lesson is gratitude. No matter where you are in life, there is always something to be thankful for. Gratitude shifts your focus from what you lack to what you have. And that's a powerful thing. It's a mindset that turns ordinary moments into extraordinary blessings, and it can transform the way you approach life. Every day, take a moment to appreciate the people who support you, the opportunities that come your way, and even the challenges that test you. Why challenges? Because they make you stronger, more resilient, and wiser. Think of gratitude as a magnet for positivity. It not only changes how you see the world, but also how the world responds to you. When you practice gratitude, you start to see doors open where you once saw walls, and you attract success and happiness into your life. Gratitude is not just a feel-good exercise, it's a tool for growth. For example, I often remind myself of the early days of Alibaba, when resources were scarce and skepticism was abundant. Even then, I was grateful for my small but determined team, the lessons learned from failures, and the belief that our efforts would one day pay off. That attitude kept us moving forward. So make gratitude a daily habit. Write it down, say it out loud, or simply reflect on it. The more you practice it, the more it will become a part of who you are. If there's one thing you take away from this speech, let it be this. Trying costs nothing, but not trying could cost you everything. You don't have to be the best. You don't have to have all the answers. You just need to start. Take one small step, then another and another. Progress, no matter how small, compounds over time, and before you know it, you'll look back and marvel at how far you've come. Remember, every successful person you admire once stood where you are now at the starting line, full of doubts and fears. They didn't have perfect clarity or foolproof plans, but they chose to try. They faced rejection, failure, and countless setbacks, but they kept moving forward. And that made all the difference. Trying opens doors to possibilities, and each step forward builds momentum toward your dreams. So, my friends, as you step out into the world today, remember, there is no excuse for not trying. Don't let fear, doubt, or the opinions of others hold you back. Your dreams are waiting for you. Your future is waiting for you. But nothing will happen unless you take that first step. Embrace the journey and trust in your ability to learn and grow along the way. As I always say, today is hard. Tomorrow will be worse. But the day after tomorrow will be beautiful. The journey may not be easy, but it will be worth it. Keep pushing. Keep believing. And most importantly, keep trying. You are capable of greatness. Thank you, and keep trying.